The predictions about the catastrophe.
As another therapy for Ebola is already being tested on Americans with COVID-19, but it's still unclear when any of these treatments will be widely available.
The State Department raised the travel advisory to the highest level 4 in its office.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the government's top expert on infectious diseases.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dave with Marketing Ideas for Printers, and I'm excited for today's webinar. I'm excited for all of these webinars, but back in the office, at the window outside there, my hair is a lot shorter than it's been for a long time, and we are ready to dig into today's webinar. And we'll get underway here with the main topic shortly. We've got Andrew Smellie with us today from Smellie's Copy and Print Shop. And we're excited to bring him on here shortly, and he is going to help answer some of the questions that came out of some of the previous webinar topics. And that is other questions that have come up have been people that have asked. I've heard some printers are busy. What are some of the jobs they're doing to keep busy? Andrew's got his version that he's going to talk about here in just a moment. And we're going to do a quick little bit of housekeeping here first. And let me get the coronavirus resources for printers.com website up here. Just as a reminder, we have got the whole archive of all of the webinars that we've done. And after today's is done, that will land here as well. And we will get that right in that top spot under the webinar recordings and handouts. Don't forget to take a look at all of the other resources that are here as well, including some free downloads. Andrew and I were just talking about this poster that's available. Andrew, you said you had about three, I think you're a handful of people that you printed this poster for already.
That is correct, yes.
And we'll talk about that as we come up here too, but just as a reminder for everyone that's watching, the exact same files that are available that Andy's using are available for you to download here, as well as other tools and resources as well. So we will get going very soon here, and let me pull up your website, and we were going to get started. Andrew, you have you've followed up with some of the feedback, and you shared with us some of the ideas that you have been using during this coronavirus time. I wish someday I think I'm just going to start that recording in the pre part of this, because we had some really good conversations, and just looking forward. Andrew, I'm going to turn it over to you. You were talking about some of the things that you've been doing for you to stay busy, but more importantly, that's to help others during this coronavirus time. So, Andrew, thanks again for joining us today. Over to you. Let's hear your story.
Thanks very much, Dave. So I like to talk about 3 different marketing things that we've done since this started. The first one I'd like to talk about is some free poster giveaway we did. Then I'll talk quickly about a restaurant guide that we did, and then I'll share about our newsletter that we send out as well. So
before you get going, I also just want to remind people, and I guess I didn't ask you this before, but I'm assuming it's okay if we have questions during those. Andrew, you're okay fielding some of the questions if they come in?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yes, that'd be great.
All right, so if you have the questions, as you hear the discussion going, just send them in through the chat panel, and we'll bring them in as much as we're able. Go ahead.
So being printers, we're very good at copying other people's ideas and artwork and stuff. So I stole an idea from Peter Lionel at Plum Grove Printing. When this first started, he posted on a little college chat group of other printers that he was making his staff work. They weren't taking any downtime, and that he had created a series of posters for free for downloading. So I ended up downloading the posters, but taking it one step further, and I said, well, why don't we print these posters for free for our customers make this a Facebook posting, and Facebook tends to favor types of items like that you're doing for free, you're giving out in a community event. So the posters are on our website, and we use websites for printers. And there's about a half dozen different styles of them. Dave's just calling it up here. So anybody can click on this website. They can go to the free poster section, and they can look at all the different styles of posters that we have, and order them. So as you scroll through, you can see them pop up, and you can choose whichever style or styles you want. We made 4 different sizes available: 8.5 by 11, 11/17, 12/18, and we did list 18 by 24. And they're all free. We'll print them for free for anybody. So we went ahead and we did a Facebook posting over this after I had set up this section in the website. And we received a couple of thousand likes on our page when we did this, and it turned out to be quite an item. We had about 30 comments posting all positive on what a great idea this is. We also were able to grow our Facebook audience as well. So it grew by about 60 people, which is pretty good in a 2-week period. We ended up printing about 300 to 350 posters. It ended up costing us $25 for the boosting of the website, or the Facebook posting. It cost us about $50 in click charges and stock. And the larger size we ran on our large format printer was probably around another $50 to $75 in costs. So not a huge outlay in actual costs for that. We ended up getting probably just over $1,000 of orders of other products. So we had a company call us and say, hey, can you do a banner thanking our frontline workers? Sure, we can do that. Another company wanted to take these posters, but they wanted to alter them a little bit, add their logo, and we've probably billed out another probably $400 worth of posters just to them alone on there, and changing them on there. So it's turned out, for the, let's say, $1,200 that we got to build out, we spent about $100, $150, and it was a very good promo for us indeed. It worked very well.
So I'm hearing 2 things in there that I really like. So first of all, you still have the free posters, but you've been able to use those as an opportunity to do the custom work, which is billable.
Correct.
So you've got that immediate payback. But not only that, with your 60 or more likes, you've got an audience that has just grown, and it's going to be with you likely forever, as long as Facebook continues to be around.
Yeah, absolutely on there. It's turned out very well. And also we got orders for a couple of other items that were a little bit, not having to do with COVID at all. So it turned out, they ended up just giving us a shout because they saw we were doing this and said, hey, can you do this for us on there? And that's usually how print works on there. So it worked out extremely well for us on there, extremely well on there.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great return on investment there.
Now, the other thing is, again, and I'm not paying Dave any money here, so everyone knows, but it was very easy to set up on Websites for Printers website for me. It took me about an hour maybe. I hadn't set anything up like this before, so there was a bit of a learning curve. I like to do things the hard way, so I set it all up, and about 3 days later, I watched one of Dave's webinars on how to set up products on your website. And I went through it and I said, so I fixed a couple of things up that I didn't know on there. But again, it really wasn't hard to do.
So maybe it's us that's doing it backwards. Instead of us doing that webinar after the fact, we should have had you on at that webinar at that time.
You see me struggling through and going, oh, that didn't work, and take it and go back and change it and move it around. But overall, it wasn't hard to do.
Well, and it's really good to see. I mean, I didn't catch it the first time around, you know, when we did our pre-talk, but just as I was rolling over those too, I'm just thrilled to see that you took it to that level, because adding those helpful images, you know, that is an extra thing, which just makes it that much easier for your customers to say, yep, that's the one I want. So kudos to you for taking that extra effort to really build it out in the way that that it's intended.
I actually found a way that you can actually show them all the time rather than just hovering too. So it's in there. You just got to search around and find it. Again, it's not hard. It just takes a bit of time to do in there.
All right, so
yep, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say that's the website, but you've been doing more than just the website here too. So
yes, so that led us to creating, taking Peter's advice. We ended up creating a series of other products. It didn't take Einstein to figure out that this is going to go on for quite a while, and that we kind of looked at what are other businesses and what are our customers going to need quite early in the process. Floor graphics came to mind. We had never done floor graphics before, but with a little bit of research, we came up with them. We were able to load them up on our website and group them all together in a section called Coronavirus Health and Safety Products. So in there, we came up with, again, floor graphics. Dave and his team created a couple of posters, which we took full advantage of. They were, yes, I believe were open, and the other one says, I forget what it says.
We'll go to it here. Open for business, curbside pickup.
Curbside, that's it. And there, and you can quite easily just flip them. It's done very well. Dave's team set this up. All we had to do was really just click on one button and authorize it into our website, and boom, there it was. It was really easy. And we've printed 3 of them so far, and they are very good looking posters, or banners, banners. There. So we have the ability, you can actually type in let's say an hours or a message on the bottom of the banner, and it gives the client a preview of what it's going to look like. It also creates a little PDF for you, for the client to look at. Plus it creates a print ready file for us. So we can just it converts it to an order, and at our end of it, we see the PDF file, and that's what we print. So you're not having to play around with artwork or proofing or things like that. And production ends up going very quickly.
Yeah, it truly is that what they see is what they get, and it's just take it and go. And,
yes.
And I do want to just go back to it. I already hinted at it earlier, but just to go back to the Coronavirus Resources for Printers website, that is a free download. This is the one that we're talking about, and it works best. You know, Andrew's got it set up best because you've got the website, you've got you design it, and it just works. But even if you don't have those, you can still get the artwork for that and do it I guess I can say it the old-fashioned way by having people say what you want in that space on the bottom. But I did want to take that opportunity just to remind everybody that that is a freebie. You don't have to be a Marketing Ideas for Printers subscriber to get that artwork. It works best like you've done here, Andrew, but it is something that's kind of one of the things that we're doing to try to help out during this time as well.
And it was simple to do at our end of it. And there. So we created a bunch of other COVID products available, and again, we have them all listed on our website with the pricing. It's been very easy for our customers to go on, find what they're after, and place the orders. Obviously, the most popular thing so far has been the 3 posters on there. We have been doing a lot of the floor graphics. We've probably printed about to about a couple of $1,000s worth of floor graphics. Average selling price is about $16 each one on there. There's some window stickers, static cling that we came up with. Those ones we've printed maybe about 4 or 5 orders of those. They haven't been huge, which is surprising to me. The A-frame signs I'll come back to in a little bit. We have 2 styles available with Corona messaging on it, and some tabletop signage as well on there for people to order there. So the next item I like to talk to about is a promo we did around kind of restaurants. So fairly early into this, just over a month ago, out of my own experience with my wife, we were trying to order dinner in, and it was painful to do, to say the least. You could quite tell that the local restaurants really were, this was out of their league. A lot of them don't have websites. Their websites are poor. They have Facebooks and pages instead of websites. The information that was listed was completely out of date and wrong. And to make a long story, it was just painful to do. So I ended up wanted to do some free banners for restaurants. And again, I took this idea from a chat group that I belong to. A couple other members had done it. And my idea was to also do a Facebook posting with that. Locally, we have a bylaw about signage that's very difficult to deal with. So I ended up talking to our town planning department about it, and they said no to the banners, but they said we could do A-frame signs. So I came up with a promo where we would provide any restaurant free of charge an A-frame sign. We keep the A-frame, it belongs to us, we're only lending it to them, and we would print them the insert that goes into it. And really it's geared to say that they're open, their hours, and their contact information, phone number, website. So we've done 4 of them so far. My one problem is I keep selling the A-frames when they come in, so I'm ordering them usually about 10 at a time, and I have customers phoning and saying, hey, I need, a golf course is opening and they need to put up A-frames around the golf course, for example. So it's been a little hard to stock enough A-frames in.
Andrew, we might have lost your audio here. I know we had some spotty internet issues here. I'm going to do a quick check. I am not able to hear Andrew. If someone
all the information on the RAT card, and they helped us gather all this up.
To Andrew, I think we lost you there just for a moment. You talked. I think we lost the part between you saying that you're getting the A-frames in stock, and then I think we lost you there for a moment. Could you do about a 15-second rewind for us?
Sure. So the A-frames, I had trouble stocking them only because we were selling them as fast as we could get them in. So I haven't really pushed out the Facebook posting yet about the free A-frame sign yet. We have done 3 restaurants so far, listing out that they are open, their hours, and it has made a difference to those 3 restaurants on there. They have seen that an increase in business because of that on there. So that's positive. So I'm trying to get more A-frames in the next few days, and we'll get that up and rolling on Facebook on there. Just to backtrack, the A-frames, we're just lending them the A-frames. So they will belong to us, and we do the insert for free. My thought is that once we get them all back, we can turn around and resell them again once things come back to normal again. Sure. So you can always sell A-frames. Mm-hmm. So the the next promo piece we did was for restaurants. It was difficult to find restaurants and where they were, what hours they were open, what their offerings were, their menu. Even getting their phone number was difficult. So we created, I had one of my staff create a rack card that lists all the restaurants, and it's also showing up in the bottom of your screen there. Just a simple rack card, all the restaurants, their phone number, their actual phone number, which sometimes what was listed wasn't their phone number, their website or Facebook listing, their hours of operation, and whether or not they do curbside pickup or takeout or both. So quite easily, people can see this, they can keep it at home, and they can quite easily, with very little effort, figure out where they want to have dinner and how to order from there. Hopefully to try and take some of the pain out of the ordering process. So these we printed free of charge. We mailed them out to 6,500 homes here in Bracebridge. I ended up doing this with our local chamber, who helped out verifying the information and making sure that nobody got missed behind. But we took it one step further, because I didn't really want to pay for the postage of this, and we teamed up with a local business help center. They're through our provincial government. So they help other businesses. They're in a process of trying to improve internet capacity, which obviously, by the looks of it, I need here. So we had to throw a little blurb at the bottom of the rack card that said, take a survey for better internet access, and they would pay for the postage. So we found an outside source to kind of help offset a bit of the cost with that, which was quite nice on there. So I'd recommend, think outside of the box. Think if you want to do something that's a promo type piece, it's free, but need a bit of help with the cost, check with a local business development center, a chamber, somebody like that can tap into some kind of grant or some grant money that's available. Right now, there's quite a bit of grant money available. You just kind of got to go and find it from there.
Yeah, it's a great idea of working together, because everyone has their own resource they can bring to the table, so to speak. And you've done that here. It's a really beautiful way to combine multiple efforts into one nice tight package like that.
Exactly, and it's well received by everybody in town. There. So the last item I thought I'd talk about is our newsletter. So yes, and honestly, Dave is not paying me, just so everyone knows. We do use the Marketing Ideas for Printers newsletter, but we're no different than any other small to medium-sized printer. We've in the past been very sporadic on getting the newsletter out. Generally speaking, we've had other jobs. When it comes to running jobs for other people or yourself, the jobs for other people come first. And we have put it out and published it in the past, but again, it has been sporadic. So this time we've been able to do our May, June, and July newsletters actually done, ready to go, and which is unusual that we're ahead of the time. So we created that newsletter. I updated our customer list that we mail it to, and we also included in the newsletter an extra piece of a promo piece of product in there. So it's showing up on your screen there. So again, it's our floor graphics, it's our decals, our window graphics that are all, and again, these are all online under our COVID section. Pull-up banners, yard signs, our A-frames, and we even threw a little bit in on our free posters as well on there. Yeah. Again, directing people to our website to order this product on there. So this,
I want to not forget too, these PDFs that we're looking at are available for you for attendees as handouts in the webinar tool. So you can grab a copy of what Andrew's done here. We'll make them available as downloads in the webinar notes as well.
sure, yeah, that's great. One thing we do is we're up here in Canada, Dave's newsletter, we kind of Canadianize it or localize it a little bit. So generally speaking, there's a section on page 2, which is usually, it's very, very well written on Dave's end of it. But we tend to make it more local, of local interest on there. So this is about some trails here locally in Ontario that you can tour around. So we kind of Canadianize it just a little bit on there. Again, it takes no more than an hour for one of our designers to do that on there. They probably spend more time trying to figure out what the content should be rather than the actual putting it in there. So it does save a lot of time, and it works out very well. We get a lot of compliments on our newsletter, a lot. We have people asking us for more copies. Generally speaking, they've cut the recipe out the back, and somebody else in the office wants the recipe. So they phone us and ask us for more copies of the newsletter, which I don't think there's a lot of newsletters out there that people phone and ask for more on there. So this is one of them. Again, we get huge amount of compliments over the newsletter. So I highly recommend, if somebody isn't subscribing to it, they should, because it is very well done. And again, it works very well there. And again, Dave's not paying me.
I was just going to say, like I said, this is all Andrew. I'm not paying you at all, but at the same token, it is an important part of it. And I think where we tie it back with the everything that's going on with coronavirus, it's a shortcut. You know, it's a way for you to make sure you've got relevant content out there each and every month with just hours of time. You know, just small number of hours of time to personalize it. And then it does give you that vehicle to include the things that are truly relevant right in your local area. And to really just tie it in really nice and tight that way. So
the one thing that we learned this month because of the coronavirus is we mailed this out to our customer base. But looking at our customer base, probably 50% of those people, we were mailing it to their office address. And it dawned on us now that they're not at their office, so they're not getting the newsletter, the printed copy. So this June issue that's just going out now, we've revamped our database of addresses, and we've gone through it and we've looked at people that we know were mailing, let's say a large corporation or a large municipality, where we know those people are at home working, and we've removed them off that list there for now. The other thing that we've done is we've gone through and we've taken our customer base and put them into categories by kind of what type of business they're in. So we put all the legal people in. We've made another column on the spreadsheet. So if you're a lawyer, you're in the law industry. If you're a doctor, you're in the medical industry. If you're a pharmacy, you're in the medical industry. So our idea is that the insert, we can specifically pick industries to send that insert to. So we can make a different type of insert specific to an industry. So and that's going forward. That way, we're not selling like floor graphics to somebody who works at home, that we know is running, let's say, a small school or a trade show type of business. They work out of their house, and we're not selling them floor graphics for their house. They're just not interested in that. They're more interested in event stuff. So.
Well, and I think that brings us full circle back to that original question, which really kicked off why this topic is important. I've heard some printers are busy. What are some of the jobs they're doing to keep busy? Well, that's one of them too, is preparing for the future. And I've said it before, I just really sense that there's a lot of engines revving, that everyone's getting ready to exit this crazy coronavirus pandemic that we're in. And kudos to you, Andrew. You've done that. Now you've got that extra column on your spreadsheet. You're preparing to get that engine racing even more once we're ready to hit blast out of that starting line. So a lot of really good information on this. And I thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing your stories with us. This is the real stuff. This is the authentic things that are happening with printers like you in the trenches. And just really very refreshing to see the way that you've taken all this information and really used it to help people and get that information out there. So again, just as a reminder that we will get your website address and we'll get these downloads available as part of the webinar follow-up. And let me get my camera ready to turn off. We'll wrap up our webinar here. Just a reminder to stick around for the survey afterwards, and we'll get all of this information out to you. And the recording will roll into that top spot on the Coronavirus Resources for Printers website. And for now, we will shut down the camera. Please stick around. We've got a short survey. It can be as little as 10 or 15 seconds. Or if you'd like, stick around and give us more of that feedback that you might have for topics that you might want to bring or see addressed in future webinars. Andrew, thanks again for showing up here today. Appreciate you sharing your ideas. And this is another example of how we will all get through this together and rely on each other to make ourselves stronger.